Today, we saw a team with 0 signings to their first 11, only 1 signing all window to a guy that probably won't even start that much for Liverpool this year, and with a manager in his first season at the club that has coached 3 league games. That's how much experience he has at Liverpool. 3 games. He's had 3 games to see his team play. Hasn't made any additions to the lineup. He comes from the same league, was a contemporary of another manager that coached the opposition team today. That manager has been in the job not 3 games, 3 years. This is his 3rd season at the helm. He has spent, I believe, upwards of 600 million on his squad, brought in players in every single position from goalkeeper to attack, has had 3 seasons to kind of put his fingerprints on this team. And yet, if you woke up out of a coma today for the first time in 3 years, and I asked you, watching these 2 teams play, which team is managed by a guy that's been here 3 years, and which team has been managed by a guy who's been here 3 games? If I were to ask you coming out of a coma that question, I would forgive you for answering it incorrectly. I'd forgive you for answering it saying, oh, Man United are definitely the team with no signings in their team. Their manager's been here a handful of games. They don't really have an identity. That's to be understood. And Liverpool, man, they look like a team. 3 years of experience with their manager. They've improved in every single facet of the game. They really understand what kind of football team they want to be. I'd forgive you. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? That's understandable on the basis of today's game. But unfortunately, as we all know, because none of us are in a coma, that's not the reality here. Man United, 3 years into Erik ten Hag's project, 600 million pounds spent on talent, were outclassed today by a Liverpool team with a manager who's been here 5 minutes in the door. And genuinely, I don't even think Arne Slot's Liverpool team today really even had to get out of second gear. I don't really think they even had to exert that much energy because they were playing against a team that every single opposition they come against, I said it last game, and I got hit with criticism. You're too critical. You're too negative. This is not negativity here. This is just saying what I see. Every game that Man United plays, whether it's Fulham or whether it's Manchester City, they play it not like a football game. They play it like a basketball game. It's open. It's chaotic. It's end-to-end. It's great for a neutral. Oh my God, if you're a neutral, man, you must love watching Man United games because you're guaranteed excitement. You're guaranteed goals. You're guaranteed teams going for it. But as a Man United fan, it's enough to give you an aneurysm, honestly. It's enough to give you a migraine. The ease in which Liverpool's midfielders found in repeatedly splitting Man United's midfield, at times literally just jogging in between it because of how open Man United were, was crazy to see. But let me be very clear here. It was crazy. It wasn't surprising. It was crazy. It was disgraceful. It was way too easy, but it was not surprising. Surprising is not the word I would use because we saw it against Fulham, and we were lucky that Fulham are not a punishing team. You can get away with it against the smaller teams. Brighton, you get away with it less because they have a bit more quality. You're coming up against a Liverpool team that if you get your midfield split as easily as you usually do, and the guys on the receiving end of it are Salah, Diaz, Jota, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch. You're not going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it, guys. Today we made Gravenberch, or I should say Man United, they made Gravenberch look like Clarence Seedorf today. Honestly, right? This was a game I looked at and I said, okay, if United really want to get anything from this game, let's test Gravenberch. He's playing in this newer position. Liverpool didn't end up buying a defensive midfielder. They're really trusting Gravenberch. Maybe, and he's looked pretty good the first 2 games, but has he been tested? Is this kind of a game where our chaotic style can kind of put him off his game? Bro, we made Gravenberch look like Clarence Seedorf today, man. The amount of times this guy picked up the ball from deeper areas and literally just bullied United's midfielders and walked his way into the opposition penalty box. Disgraceful. Genuinely, United's midfielders today need a hard look at themselves because the ease in which he, Szoboszlai, and McAllister split them, bullied them at times. Incredible. And it's why, again, look, you can be a believer in the Ugarte signing. You can think he's a good player. I have no issue with that. But if you honestly look at Man United right now and think Ugarte is the player that's going to come in and massively change life for this midfield, I think you're being brutally optimistic. And look, be optimistic. I hope he can do a similar. I'm very happy to hold my hands up if he does it. But this is a midfield job that 90% of midfielders ever will not be able to come and just fix. You'd need Claude Makelele in that midfield at the heart of it, keeping everything together. That's how open United play. And it's why, look, Casemiro, the first two goals are almost brutally on him, right? Moving away from Ten Hag. Casemiro, those first 2 goals are completely him. And look, Jamie Carragher said last year, leave the football before the football leaves you. The football left him last year. Today, the football left him, right? The train went past you in the station, and then it made a full trip and lapped you again. That's what the football did to Casemiro. The football has left him already, but now it's just doing laps around him. That's how finished the guy is. On the ball, it's just comical how a player of this experience, a player that at one point was considered maybe the best defensive midfielder in the world, it's hilarious how bad he is on the ball. Simple 5-yard passes that you would expect him to make. You'd expect those mistakes to be happening from a teenager, from an academy player, but it's happening from a guy with, 4 or 5 Champions Leagues. Tens of international caps for Brazil. A 15-year career at Real Madrid. They're coming from him. The second goal, receiving the ball the way he does and being eased off of it by Luis Diaz. Eased off of it. Look, there was very little pressure on him to fall the way he does. It's a player, he's not on the decline anymore. He has declined. There's no declining happening. That Community Shield game was a false image. We all got sold a dream. Let's be real. Let's hold our hands up. It was a nice homage to the old Casemiro, but it was like a flash in the pan. That guy doesn't exist anymore. Today should be the last time Casemiro starts for Man United. I genuinely mean that. Maybe in the cup games, throw him a Carabao Cup game, Europa League, go throw him in there. Casemiro should not be starting Premier League games for Man United anymore. The guy's a liability. But seriously, right? Casemiro is just an extreme example of it because he's washed. But any midfielder playing that role for Man United is getting set up to fail. You saw it in the third goal. Don't get it twisted. Make no mistake about it. Kobbie Mainoo should do way better in that situation. The ease in which he gets moved off the ball, but I think, who was it? McAllister, is poor. And I rate Kobbie Mainoo very highly. He shouldn't be losing the ball in that situation. But look at the way, for God's sake, people, how Man United build up. Lisandro and De Ligt swing the ball back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, looking up, trying to find a midfielder. They can't find one because only one guy really plays in midfield and build up. The rest of them, they play high and wide. Kobbie gets on the ball. He should play it quick. I get that. But even if he manages to evade the tackle, who's in front of him? We completely vacate the midfield and build up. We completely vacate it. And it was evident the first 2 games. But people only see the sun. People only see the truth once you lose 3-0. That's when all of a sudden every problem becomes magnified. But the problems didn't just come up today. They didn't just spawn out of thin air today. They've been evident the first 2 games, and they've been evident the whole 3 years under Ten Hag's tenure, bro. Man United's midfield will get ripped apart and exposed by every single team in the league. Whether they get punished for it depends on the other team's quality. But the issues United have in midfield, how open a gap it is, how easy it is to play through United's midfield, every single team can play against it, bro. Any single team. Genuinely, Liverpool, fair play to them, man. 3 wins on the trot, 0 goals conceded, top of the league. Well, I don't know if they're top of the league. On goal difference, they might not be. They've been incredible. But I still don't even think in these 3 games we've seen the best version of Liverpool. Because I don't think they've had to be the best version. I think the best is yet to come. But this was a chance for United to really pose a test for them. And I'm not gonna take away anything from Liverpool. They deserve credit because I went into this game saying it was Arne Slot's first test. And just because they completely dismantled the first test doesn't mean now I can say, oh, it wasn't a test for them. They took care of the job. But I expect Liverpool to be tested a lot more than they were today, man. You have to laugh at this point. So obviously on the left, you have Man United. On the right, you have Liverpool. Please, guys, please just take a look at this. Look at Liverpool, where players are occupying positions. The combinations, the areas of the pitch that they're stretching out. And then look at United. Honestly. Look at how much space is between midfield and attack. My God, man. My God. It's the easiest team in the league to play against. It's the easiest team in the league to play against. Last year, a big criticism of Erik ten Hag for me was I didn't really understand what his style of play was. 2 years into the job, that much money spent. What is United's identity? This year, the one thing I can say about Ten Hag, I know what United's identity are this year. I can very clearly tell you the way Man United wants to play. That's not an issue for me anymore. They want to play quick off the front. They want to play direct. They want to build up fast. They want to play one-touch football. And they want to find the killer ball as quickly as possible. And when they lose it, they want to press the ball up high and transition as high as possible. The issue is that to play that style of play as extremely as United does, you need the best players in every single position. You need your forwards to be clinical, to finish off every single chance you get. You need your midfielders to basically complete every single pass that they make. You need your defenders to kill attacks from the opposition as high up the pitch as possible, because if they ever break your press, you're absolutely screwed. You effectively need the World 11 to really execute Ten Hag's style to perfection. You have to have the best players in every single position. United are never going to have that. And second of all, it's just way too kamikaze. It's way too suicidal. It's way too extreme. It's way too chaotic. And we don't have the players to do it, but this isn't a case of like, oh, we have scrubs. No team has the players to play that kind of style. I mean, this is just the image of the day. David Gill, Omar Berrada, Brailsford, and Jim Radcliffe. That's the image of the day. You live and die by your decisions. And look, I believe in Ineos. I like the recruitment that they've made. I think they have competent, experienced footballing men in several positions. The first that we've had at United for over a decade. I believe in them. And when they decided to extend Erik ten Hag, I didn't agree. But I said, you know what? Let me not be the guy to basically just lose my shit the minute they don't make a decision I like. Let me observe, let me sit back, and hopefully I'm proven wrong. But also, it is a case you live and die by your mistakes. Ineos decided to ride with Ten Hag. They decided to ride the wave, or ride the storm, to quote Lee Ben. But I'm sorry, if it doesn't work out, that's on you now. So this is not me being one of those guys, screw Ineos, Ineos out, Ineos are bad. I think they've done great things at this club. But the one thing that you have to look at their decisions and question was the decision to keep Erik ten Hag. And you could argue, look, there wasn't any better options on the managerial market. They weren't convinced by anybody else. Fair enough. But now, you live and die by your decisions. Let's see what Ten Hag can do. HTO says, defend low, press high, build up slow and deep, but go long and fast. Man mark in the midfield, but leave +1 always in defense. Juxtaposition football, hard to watch today. Tactically and technically, we were a disgrace. I completely agree. I mean, how could you not? Genuinely, how could you not? I know I got a lot of positive Man United fans, especially in my YouTube comment section. Genuinely, how could you actually disagree with anything he's saying there? If Ugarte gets injured or isn't what we think he is, we are doomed. Our options are weak or finished, which is why I wanted another midfielder. Go and get Rabiot at this point. These guys still think it's a personnel issue, bro. I mean, come on, bro. How long do you have to watch this to clearly tell it doesn't matter who we put in midfield? The way we are positioning our players, the way we're structuring our midfield, I'm telling you, you need Makelele at his prime. Go get a time machine and bring him back at his very best, put him at the base of our midfield, and then maybe we can do something. Put Kante next to him as well, too. What is Rabiot doing to change things at Man United? What would Rabiot have done differently today to change that scoreline or to change the way we played? It's not a Rabiot thing. It's not an Ugarte thing. It's like, come on, guys. That's just tactically, though, right? Everything I'm talking about is tactically. We already know the deal with tactics. Let's talk about, though, personnel. For me, if you can't tell that Amad Diallo is the most talented winger at Manchester United, then I'm sorry, you don't understand the game. You don't understand the game. At this current moment, the way everyone is playing, Amad Diallo is the best Man United have. He's the best. That's not to say Amad Diallo is the second coming of I don't even know. That's not to say that we have a young Messi at the club. I think he's a talented player, but I'm not trying to overhype Amad Diallo here. PD1, you can say meh. I'm not comparing Amad to Lamine Yamal. I understand his limitations. I understand his strengths. But what Man United have right now, don't try and feed me that Rashford is better than him or that Garnacho is better than him. Forget about Anthony. Amad is the best Man United have at the club at that position. And I understand people are going to come here and say, well, Ten Hag wanted to play with fast wingers, to play on the break. I'm not trying to hear all of that. Play your best players. And for sure, play your best footballers. Amad should not be coming off the bench for United anymore. He's the best that they have, bro. Amad brought more of a spark this game, but versus Brighton, he was poor. He was poor, and bro, he was still probably our best winger. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys here. I'm not trying to say Amad Diallo, we have Messi here, but he's the best we have. He's the best we have, bro. I'm sorry. Do I think Ruud would be a better head coach? I'm not going to sit here and talk about Ruud van Nistelrooy as a manager. I've maybe seen Ruud van Nistelrooy coach a game a handful of times in my life. So that's not for me to say. But I do believe, I keep saying it, I don't think he's in this assistant manager role by chance. I don't think it's like, oh, he's Ineos' insurance policy there, bro. If Ten Hag gets fired, he's the interim, for sure. Let's talk about Liverpool a little. Arne Slot has passed every single test he's been given. Liverpool look better than they did last year. 0 signings. They haven't signed a single player, bar Chiesa, and he hasn't even featured yet. But they look better than they did last year. They look more decisive in attack. They look more in control in midfield. They defend transitions much, much better. They look like a stronger team. And that comes with no signings and basically 3 months of coaching. So fair play to Arne Slot. Mohamed Salah, man. I'm looking at you in the camera. What have we done in a previous life to piss you off this much? Please, brother. What is it? Can we not move past this? What have we done to piss off Mo Salah this badly? Mo Salah has outscored Man United in meetings since he came to the Premier League. And his first goal against the club came in 2020. Since 2017, I guess, but technically since 2020, because he didn't score those first 3 years. Mo Salah has outscored Man United. What have we done to you, brother? Please, let's talk man to man. North African to North African. What is it? Are you a Liverpool fan at heart? Did Man United scorn you? Did Man United... Please, this is bullying at this point, bro. It's bullying. Hairline comeback with a fresh fade. He's having an all-timer. Bro, honestly. He hates Algeria, so what? I'm the Algerian here. No one at United plays for Algeria. Unless you guys are saying, what, he's doing it against me. Ryan Gravenberch today, man, ran the show. Ran the midfield by himself. There was a point, too, I was really getting annoyed at United, man, honestly, right? The 3-0, look, I've seen United get smashed up by Liverpool a few times now. But at some point, you have to learn that once you're down 3-0 with like 40 minutes left to play at home, guys, if you haven't already, don't disgrace the badge anymore. Don't disgrace your home fans any more than you already have. This is where you have to understand professionalism and giving your fans a modicum of respect. Sit back 10 yards deeper, close the gaps more, understand the game is out of your grasp, and go home with a 3-0. Stop trying to push for a first. Stop trying to make it respectable. Liverpool could have genuinely scored 4, 5, 6 today. That would have genuinely pissed me off. I'm already annoyed, right? 3-0 at home is bad. The minute you start making it 5, 6, 7, like it has been in the last few seasons, that's where, for me, it goes beyond tactics. It goes beyond ability. That's when it comes down to a matter of professionalism. Have some self-respect. Have some respect for your home fans that have paid money to attend the stadium. Rashford starting in 2024 is like giving your opponent a gun in a sword duel. I mean, some people are going to say Rashford had created the 2 best chances in the game for Xerxes, right? Xerxes probably should do better with both those chances, especially with the first. And I mean, I can't disagree with that. But Rashford, right? Rashford versus Trent used to be one of those matchups that when you go into the game against Liverpool, you think, okay, where can we hurt Liverpool today? Rashford versus Trent. Fast, speedy, dynamic, direct winger against a fullback that you can accuse him of falling asleep once or twice. And we have history with him, right? I've seen Rashford punish Trent a few times. But man, those days feel like ages ago, bro. Honestly. Watching Rashford today, again, fair play, he created both chances. But I'm telling you guys right now, I know we all want to back Rashford. He's the local kid. We all have a soft spot for him. I saw today. It's getting annoying, to be honest, seeing on Twitter, like, it almost feels like gaslighting. Rashford's at the under-18 game. He just gets it. Look at Rashford, his record against the top 6. He just gets it. Look at Rashford from 2 seasons ago. That player is still in there. Guys, we got to stop babying this guy out at some point, bro. He's turning 27 this year. Is he already 27 or is he turning 27 this year? He's turning 27 in a month. At some point, guys, we need to stop babying this guy. Honestly. For me, the spark is gone. This is a guy with no more confidence in his game anymore. Honestly. The spark in Marcus Rashford, that excitement that Man United fans got every time he used to get on the ball on the left flank, we would move forward in our seat a little bit. The hair on our arms would kind of rise. The anticipation of what he could do would excite us. That spark is no longer there when Rashford gets the ball anymore. Genuinely, when he picks up the ball, there was a few times today, 1v1 of his fullback, looking Trent down straight in the eyes with the entire flank to run into. Turns backwards, passes it to his fullback. Goes backwards, resets the play. The things that made Rashford such an exciting and dangerous forward are no longer there in his game. For me, I think the spark is gone. Honestly, I think the spark is gone. I don't think he needs a fresh... Genuinely, I think with Rashford, we're getting to a point with him, right, where the player we all kind of anticipated he could one day become, that potential, I don't think that potential is there anymore. Thoughts on Manu today? Few good touches. Obviously, is at fault for the goal, but if I have to talk about Man United's better players, he was probably one of our better players, which doesn't say much. He still didn't play well enough. I thought Mazraoui was United's best player today. I thought De Ligt and Licha were all over the gaff, honestly. On the floor half the time. De Ligt diving in. He had a few times where like Luis Diaz squared him up. He won the ball off of him. But I actually genuinely thought De Ligt and Lisandro Martinez, for me, both of them were poor. Bruno, for me, poor performance. Really non-existent for me. Had a few chances to kind of send his forwards in behind. The final ball was uncharacteristically bad. Casemiro actually limited his IG comments. As if that's the biggest of his concerns, man. Can you limit your dispossessions in your own half? Can you limit your giveaways on easy 5-yard passes? About limit your comments. Salah said, you know, this is my last year in the club. I just want to enjoy it. There's no way Salah said that.
As you know, this is my last year in the club. I just want to enjoy it. I'm just...
This moment, this little moment right here feels like happiness. Alhamdulillah, man. Oh my God, we're freed. We're freed. That's it. I don't have to worry about this monster anymore, bro. Oh my God, man. This means more than 3 points. Probably how every team feels. Every team can feel like that, bro. We've felt it more than anybody. Oh my God, man. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. He corrected. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, don't do that. I don't care what you guys say. I'm taking that for face value, bro. Please, man. Leave us alone, man. He meant the last year of his contract. Good. That means he's leaving at the end of his contract. Let's hope for the best. Saudi is calling you, brother. Go collect that paycheck. He just added that for now he hasn't been offered a new contract, so therefore it's his last. Good. Don't offer him a new contract. FSG. Let's follow this youth path, right? Let's try and extend contracts for 30 and below, right? All these older guys. Salah serves you guys no purpose, man. Long term, honestly. I'm with it, FSG. Honestly. Michael Edwards. Julian Ward, I'm with you guys, bro, honestly. Stop giving these washed 30-year-olds contracts, man. Honestly. I like it. Please, I'm begging you, bro. I guess the big question, one question I was asked during the stream, how long do you give Ten Hag? And I told my stream, right? Guys, that's not the question to ask for me. Don't ask me how long does Ten Hag have. Don't ask me when would I sack Ten Hag. I'm not the guy for that, bro. I told my stream, ask Flex that question. Ask Mark Goldbridge that question. Ask KG the comedian that question. Ask Liban London that question. Ask Abs Busquets that question. Ask Adam McCullough that question. Ask Steven Housen that question. Those guys, they can give you an answer to when they believe Ten Hag should be sacked. Me? You're asking me when I thought Ten Hag should be sacked. 6 months ago, brother. 3 months ago. A month ago. 3 weeks. 2 weeks. 1 week. Yesterday. Today. If it were up to me, Ten Hag would not have lasted last season, and he would damn for sure not be managing this year. You guys already knew that. But I told you this year, for me, it's not an agenda thing, honestly. I wanted Ten Hag sacked. I didn't think Ten Hag should continue. I didn't get what I wanted. I'm not going to be that guy that throws my toys out the pram because Ineos didn't make the decision I wanted. I decided, you know what? Ineos, you want to hire him? I believe in Ineos, so let's see what they're cooking. Go back him, give him the tools, which I think they did. Now let's see what Ten Hag can do. That's what I said on my tweet. I said, Ten Hag now, you have your players. You have the deadwood out. Sancho's not there anymore. Please coach now. For me, I'm observing. All the questions about Ten Hag, should he stay? What does he need to do better? Go ask those guys that. Those were the guys that want him to stay. That's not a dig at any of them, by the way. I got love for all you guys. But you guys know what I think about Ten Hag. I'm not the guy to come to ask about Ten Hag. Genuinely, that's not me. Go ask the guys that put faith in him and said he needed more resources and he needed another year and we should reward the FA Cup. Those are the guys that you need to ask, what should we do with Ten Hag? Not me. Disappointing result, but you must be mad if you think I'm going to throw my toys out the pram 3 games of the season. Hashtag ride the storm. What about 3 years into his tenure? Is that acceptable to throw your toys out the pram? 3 years? I said 3 games. He said 3 games like our managers aren't a slut. 3 games. It isn't 3 games, my brother. It's 3 years. This is just embarrassing. Honestly, like the quotes that I'm seeing coming out. Mo Salah, I was surprised at how easy it was. It was quite open. It could have finished 5 or 6. This is so embarrassing. This is like, honestly, bro, your biggest rivals coming to Old Trafford and speaking like this. I know football is not played based on screenshots. I know the game is played at a rapid pace. You don't have the time to think at every single second. You can't stop the game midway. I get all that. But please, defensive midfielder receives the ball here. He hasn't taken a touch yet. The ball is coming to him. In that situation, what are his options? Either A, open up his hips and play it wide to Lisandro. B, receive the ball on his right, drop it deep, play it out wide to Mazraoui. C, play it first time over the top to Diogo Dalot, who's making that overlap in tons of space. What does Casemiro do? There's something wrong with this guy, bro. Genuinely, there's something clinically wrong with this guy. I'm telling you, he is the worst world-class player I've ever seen in my life. Genuinely, at one point, I'll never take it away from him. He was a world-class player, but he's the worst world-class player I've ever seen. The technical fundamentals of Casemiro's game are so bad for a player of that level. It's unreal. It's unreal. Lias, you're too negative. You're too negative. You're never positive about United. This is a perfect tweet, honestly, bro. This is Sander Westerveld, obviously ex-Liverpool. And he says, a game versus Brentford is more difficult than this. That's insane to say, by the way. I saw someone wearing a shirt with Beckham on the back while looking at Jaap Stam next to me. I thought back on the time we faced big stars who faced us, or scared us. I looked back towards the pitch with a team they invested 500 million in. Who is the star now? And this is why I keep saying, guys, you guys are saying you're too harsh on United. You're too harsh on United. I've watched this club since 2006, bro. It's damn near 20 years I've been watching this team. Damn, I get it. Make your jokes, whatever. You can't fool me. Please don't try and spin this United team into something I have to be excited about, or this team that I have to be like over the moon about, and this player and this. I've seen quality Man United teams. I know what looks like a good United team and what doesn't look like a good United team. I know what looks like a good Man United manager. I know what looks like a bad one. Like this, he sums it up perfectly, bro. The quality of players that used to play for this team, the standards this club used to reach. And I believe there's better days coming, man. I truly believe that, but don't try and spin it off of these other players, man. Please, come on, bro. I don't think all 11 players need to be changed, but even at their best with a great manager, this United team is nowhere near challenging for a title, bro. Nowhere near it. Right now, we're just trying to get back to what's it called? Maintaining a respectable standard. Forget about the league title, bro. Come on. We're nowhere even near that, right? But when it comes to actually just like top players, we try and spin a lot of these guys as if they're way better than they actually are. United has a decent team. United has a team that at their best they should be competing for top 6. But the issue is right now we're not even looking like that. Honestly, I came into the season saying that there's no way it can be as bad as last year. Maybe not in terms of performances and stuff like that, but in terms of league finishes, is it unrealistic to say United could definitely finish 8th again? There's a lot of good teams in this league. Yeah, it's not about losing to Liverpool. I agree. It's a problem the way they lose, man. Honestly, we'll take United 5 years to rebuild. I can't. Yeah, 100%. And look, I'm well aware that this is not an overnight fix for United. Don't get it twisted. I don't expect United to challenge for the league. I didn't think they were going to make the top 4 this year either. So don't get it twisted. I'm not here to say Man United have to be doing this. And if we sack Ten Hag and hire Tuchel or hire Kieran, I'm not deluded, bro. I get that. But it's about maintaining a standard and bringing respect back to this football club. And at the moment, honestly, like you look at the records that Erik Ten Hag has broken at Man United, the record losses that we have under him. Genuinely, we talk about, oh, Ten Hag, he won this, he won that. Other managers win less and they get less shit than he does. Let's also look at the flip side of it. Erik Ten Hag has lost 7-0 to Liverpool, and he's still in a job 3 years in. Erik Ten Hag held 6 in his first season to Manchester City. He's still in a job. Erik Ten Hag was the first manager to allow Arsenal to do the double on us in like 17 years. Actually, to be fair, no, 17 years with fans in the stadium, excuse me. He's still in a job. Like, I get it, man. I get it. But Erik Ten Hag has also overseen a lot of bad things at Man United, and he's still in a job. And when I heard quotes as well, too, about him talking like, my team is the most successful team in England after Manchester City. Really? Do you really believe that? Man United fans, do we feel like we're the most successful team in England the last 2 years outside of Man City? I don't feel like it. The days out when we win trophies are fantastic. It feels good. But are Man United the second best team in the league the last 2 years behind City? Because they won a few trophies. If that's the standard at United now, that successful seasons are us winning FA Cups and us winning Carabao Cups, and it doesn't matter where we finish in the league, then I'm sorry, man. The standards have dropped. Erik Ten Hag, I don't think it's right to say it feels the same as last year. You can see the XG. We didn't concede as many goals. I don't think we are in the same pattern. Well done, Liverpool. We have to be humble and take it. My God, man. XG talk. XG talk 3 years into the project. I saw the XG. We're 3 years into the project of Erik Ten Hag and we're still talking about XG.